Hello, good day everyone. So in this lecture, we will be talking about Rizal's nationalistic ideology as a synthesis of all the topics that we have discussed in the course Life and Works of Rizal. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so we start off with explaining what do we refer to when we say a nationalistic ideology. Okay, so simply stating, so it's that set of beliefs or ideas that are designed to secure the welfare of the nation. Okay, so this is derived from our basic definition of nationalism, which refers to the love and the devotion to the nation. Okay, so we have to remember now when we talk about love of nation, okay, so we're not simply referring to the love which is based on emotion, the usual or typical definition of love that many people misconceive about it. Okay, pero we refer uh, to the more strict definition, to the more uh, real definition of love, di ba? Which is it has to be militant, it is persevering, and it is mature. Okay. So in short, how do we know that the love that we are defining is real? Uh, is that we have to make sure that the object of this love is the desire, di ba, to to desire the good of the other, di ba? Now, what we want is the benefit of the other person or the object of our love. Di ba? So in this case, so we want what's best for the nation. We only desire the good, uh, the benefit of the nation. Ayan. Okay, so hindi na natin i-discuss ulit yung militant, persevering, and mature. So yun. Okay. And in addition, so yun nga, uh, in elaborating what the nation means, di ba? So it's that group of people uh, from which we experience that sense of belonging. Di ba? So that sense of belonging can refer to different things. For example, similar culture, similar tradition, similar way of life. Okay? Uh, so yung mga ganyan. Okay. Uh, so that's how we delineate that concept of nation. Okay? So reiterating again, what we refer to when we say nationalistic ideology? Okay? So it's that set of beliefs or ideas, okay, that you formulate, okay, uh, in order to secure, in order to acquire or to make sure, that we give what's best for the nation, that we secure the welfare of the nation. Okay, so it's a plan of action, di ba? We don't simply go into action, pero we have to have that set of ideas because uh we want that uh, that welfare, di ba, to be persevering. Di ba? We want it to last a very long time. Okay, we want it to be mature, di ba? Na it's uh, its essence, di ba? The essence of the idea or the plan, di ba, is uh, yeah, it's actual, di ba? We really get to see that the nation acquires the welfare that it deserves, the benefit that it deserves. Okay. Okay, so it has to be well thought of. Kaya nga siya set of ideas. Di ba? It's easy to say that you love your nation, di ba? You can do it. There are simple ways of doing it. Kaya lang, okay, what we want is a little bit more long-lasting. It's a little bit more impactful for the nation. Okay, so before we go down or before we go directly uh, to the nationalistic ideology that we can extract, from the life and works of Rizal, let's have a little bit of background setting first. Okay, so uh, we established na yun nga, during the 19th century, so Spaniards are mistreating Filipinos in different ways and in different means. And this is a little bit uh, medyo light yung pagkaka-term na yun nga, they are mistreating Filipinos. Okay. Now, yun nga, Rizal and the other Ilustrados campaigned for a peaceful reform. However, this campaign for the better treatment from the Spaniards failed. Ayan, so they were unable uh, to secure the reforms that they wanted, the better treatment that they wanted from the Spaniards. Okay, so which leads us to the realization na, yun nga, who else can love the Filipinos? Diba? Aside from the Filipinos themselves, diba? Who can serve the Filipinos? Who can treat the Filipinos better, diba? Other than the Filipinos themselves, diba? Hence, we're going back now to the concept of that nation, diba? Na it's only in that group of people where you can uh, experience that sense of belonging, diba? Who can look after your group better, diba? Yung nga, that group where you have that sense of belonging, diba? Kasi sila-sila din lang naman talaga yung magtutulungan, sila-sila din yung uh, magse-secure ng what they need or what's best for them, 'di ba? Hence yung concept din ng family na yun nga. And we try to expand that, 'di ba? Yung sense of belonging na yan into a family that does not only include the group that does not only include the family rather, pero you're extending it to the community. Okay. Now, of course, in order to properly uh, manifest this love, di ba? This service for the others, service for the Filipino. Okay. Uh, we equate that capability to having independence na in the end, di ba, the end goal of nationalism or the end status rather that nationalism wants for the nation is to have its own independence. Okay? Kasi you can only love your people, you can only serve your people if you have the capability, the necessary capability or capacity to do so. Okay? Kaya nga sinasabi din that nationalism is also an ideology of power. Diba? Because, o nga naman, aminin natin na whether we like it or not, if we want to serve the people, if we want to give them the best that they need, diba? If you want to give them the benefits that they need, if you want to secure their welfare, okay, you have to have a certain level of power in order to accomplish that. Okay, halimbawa, in terms of security, di ba, if you want to provide security for the people, di ba, you need a certain level of power. But if you want to secure their economic welfare, you have to have a certain level of power. Okay. And this power, yun nga, translates to independence. Okay. Because it is only in a state of independence when you can, again, true independence, quote unquote. So it's only in that state when you can fully manifest that love for the people, that service for the nation. Ayan. However, for this independence to succeed, okay, so kailangan the people have to be well prepared. Again, we're talking about true independence. Okay? Hindi yung independence for the sake of. Yung masabi lang na independent ka. Okay? Because kagaya nga ng sabi dun sa Spider-Man movie, di ba? Iaano lang natin ng konti. With independence comes responsibility. Okay? Kasi nga you're independent now, di ba? You may have now the control or the authority now is in your hands, but at the same time, you have to make use of that authority properly. Okay? Or else, gaya ng sabi ni Rizal, di ba? Magpapalitan lang yung mga oppressors natin with uh, with the Filipinos ourselves, themselves, di ba? So, for this independence to succeed, the people have to be well prepared. Okay? So, kaya ang sabi ni Rizal, di ba, we have to make the people worthy of this independence through good education. Okay? And we have been talking about education, di ba, for the previous discussions, particularly in Rizal's poems, di ba, in his novels, in his works, na ayun nga. And ultimately, di ba, the essence of education really is improving yourself. Di ba? It's not just about getting your degrees, di ba, getting your diplomas. Okay? Uh, pero why do we want to acquire learning? Why do we want to acquire knowledge? Di ba? Because we want to improve ourselves. We want to be better than who we are yesterday, who we were yesterday. Ayan. Di ba? So if there is no improvement of the self, di ba? So there is no education that is happening. That's why we are also uh, emphasizing good education. Ayan. Okay. So we can see this in the different works of Rizal, di ba? Na how he wants to emphasize education, di ba? In the poems that we were discussing, di ba? In the uh, also particularly in towards the end of the Elfili, 'di ba, yung message ni Padre Florentino kay Simon, 'di ba, with regards to their discussion on why the revolution of Simon failed, 'di ba? Okay? So Rizal was emphasizing the importance of good education, the importance of preparing the people. Okay? So if we're going uh, to look further, okay, so Rizal was actually trying to accomplish this, okay, uh, after the publication of the La Liga Filipina and his split from the La Solidaridad. Ayan. Okay. So he shifted from the policy or from the campaign for reforms to uh, attaining changes or to attaining the changes in the people through the La Liga Filipina. Okay. Which is a society of mutual aid and self-help. Ayan. Okay, so it's an organization of Filipinos for Filipinos. Ayan, parang ganyan. Okay. So kumbaga, if you're going to look closely into what Rizal wanted for the La Liga Filipina, it's an organization that will slowly uh, work itself up, di ba? Leading towards the independence. Okay. Pero this is the slowly but surely, this is the slow but sure way of attaining independence. True, quote unquote, true independence. Okay. To yeah. So with regards to the objectives that is written here, of the La Liga Filipina, diba? So it's a self-help na organization. The members help each other, diba? In different aspects. Ayan. So here, diba, we can clearly see na yun nga, Rizal was implementing uh, the uh, the statement that we saw a while ago na yun nga, he wanted the people to to be prepared. Okay? He wanted the people to have a sort of improvement. Diba? So as if you remember, if you can see, sorry, uh, one part here, di ba, refers to the encouragement of instruction, di ba? So, yeah. So Rizal it's not necessarily an independent group, di ba? But if you look ayun nga, into the constitution of the La Liga, di ba, it's a way of preparation. It's a way of preparing the people, di ba? Kasi as we mentioned a while ago, yun nga, di ba? Who else can help the Filipinos? Who else can better serve the Filipinos than the Filipinos themselves? Ayan. Okay. So uh it's not uh explicit na na sinabi ni Rizal na that this organization is working towards the independence of the Filipinos uh, from the Spanish colony. Okay. uh, but again, looking into the La Liga, it's a step towards that. Okay. So yun. Unfortunately, yun nga, the La Liga did not really last long. It only uh, was existent for a few days, for a couple of days. Okay. Uh, Again, a few days after the institution of the La Liga Filipina, so Rizal was arrested and uh, exiled to the Pitan. Ayan. So we never really saw the goals of the La Liga Filipina come into fruition. Okay. We never even actually saw, diba, the La Liga Filipina in action. Okay. So it's an organization that was established. Pero yun nga, hindi natin nakita how the members actually went to fulfill, diba, their obligations. Okay. Pero it's a very interesting, it's a very idea, okay, na it you couldn't help but wonder, diba, what could have happened if it has gone into fruition or into action. Ayan. Okay, so yun nga, preparation for independence through education. Okay, so what happened afterwards? Diba? Was this ideology carried out? Did it uh, did it translate into the other movements uh, that clamor for independence, diba? That campaigned for independence or uh, for the betterment of the country? Okay. Whether it has a direct relation or not, uh, but what we can say are, well, basing from the facts, interpreting from the facts, okay, na the Katipunan, okay, the organization that aims to attain independence from Spain through an armed revolution, okay, organized this what we call as the Kartilya ng Katipunan, which are a set of principles, to guide the people, okay, uh, to acquire proper behavior. Okay. So again, whether this is a direct uh, or whether this has a direct connection to Rizal's nationalistic ideology, na nag-usap ba sila in that sense. Okay. So uh, we're not yet saying that. Okay. Pero if you look into the nature of the Cartilla, okay, and what it wants to achieve, okay, which was authored by Emilio Jacinto, okay, if you've had your readings in Philippine history. So yun. You can see na it adheres to that ideology na the people need to be uh, well prepared if they want to be independent. Okay. Because looking at the Cartilla, so yun nga, para siyang teachings, di ba? Para siyang commandments to the members. Okay. And if you look into them, okay, individually, na ayun nga, they are a set of principles, okay, na that remind the people, di ba, of how they should behave, di ba, as individuals, as citizens of a nation, or as groups of a society, or put it simply, di ba, as well-mannered citizens, as well-mannered individuals. Okay. Uh, so you have here Emilio Jacinto also aware of what 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 is needed for an independent nation to be successful. Diba? Na You need to have well-prepared, you need to have well-educated, well-behaved people. People who know how to behave properly. Okay? So for what specific behavior ang hinahanap natin, uh, what specific behavior ang hinahanap natin, again, we can refer to the criteria, di ba? Just look at them individually. Okay? So you have, yun nga, you have the Katipunan here also aware of what Rizal was talking about, di ba? Of our interpretation of Rizal's nationalistic ideology na people need to be well prepared, well educated, okay, before we become independent. Okay. So we see here, yeah, the Katipunan was working towards that. Okay. So the question of whether the members took to heart, diba, the teachings of the Kapatilla, diba, uh, that's a different discussion altogether. Okay. Okay. Pero the Katipunan was aware of this, was aware of what is needed. Now, the question is, was it attained? Okay. Uh, we don't have to really look far from that. We just have to look around us, di ba? Uh, are the people prepared for the independence that we have attained, from Spain, from the United States? Are the people fulfilling the maximum potentials, of being an independent nation, di ba? Okay. So I leave the answer to you. Na sa inyo na 'yon kung how you're going to assess that. Okay. So to end, we just have to ask, what is our role as citizens? What is our role now that we know uh, what is this nationalistic ideology that Rizal was talking about, or that we extracted from Rizal's ideas? Okay, so we said na yun nga, uh, when we synthesize the ideas that we extracted from Rizal's works, Rizal's life and works, so we said na yun nga, uh, in order to love our nation properly, we have to be well prepared. We have to be well educated. Okay, in order to serve our nation uh, with competence, with commitment, and with compassion. So we have to be well prepared. We have to be well educated. Okay. So our role now is to teach ourselves, diba? And to teach others, those that are within our capacity, those that are within our influence. Diba? To be person for others, to be a person for others, to be people for others. Okay. That's the base, that's the core, diba, of that's the core value of that we need, diba? If we are to exist in a group, diba? Na we no longer think about ourselves, diba? We are no longer self-centered, but we also consider, diba, uh, the good or the benefit of other people. Ayan. So, diba? So, this is our basic function, diba? In relation uh, to the nationalistic ideology that we have extracted from Rizal's works. Diba? If we want to prepare ourselves and if we want to help prepare other people, for uh, for living as an independent nation, living as a nation that looks after itself, diba? That looks after its people, diba? We have to emphasize that, yeah, or we have to emphasize on this particular behavior that we are thinking about the benefit or the welfare of others. Okay. On top, syempre, as part of their formal education, for example, as part of uh, the usual education that we know that we receive, diba, through school, through schooling. Yeah. Uh, this also has to be uh, included, diba? On top of that. Okay, na as we progress intellectually, we also have to progress behaviorally. Okay. And it all boils down to yun nga, to to helping others realize that we need to be people for other people. We need to be persons for others. Ayan. So with that, I would like to end our synthesis, our discussion on the life and works of Rizal. Okay, so I hope na uh, you were at least somehow able to gain, to learn something from all our discussions. And, and of course, as always, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy.